we go. The Hex will be laid down onto Jabs. Repel on Cuckoo, very nicely done as well to make sure that there's no chance of him hexing himself. Here we go, Astral to start things off. Black and Ice waiting for the prime opportunity to go up to the high ground. Spike Parapet stuns up Cuckoo initially, coming in, starting to rack up the intel on Cuckoo.
That's 16 at the current point in time.
Managed to do already a fair bit of damage to the melee racks. And already the creeps are pouring in on the other lanes. The tier 4s are going to start getting pressured by the creepers. Cuckoo again, trying to get what he can, but as you mentioned, this evasion really stinting how much intel he can build up from Jabs Medusa at the moment because of that solar crest.
Good start.
There's the stunning. We'll get the Hex off in return in time. Force back from TNC. There's the Hurricane Pike onto Black. A little bit more stolen. Now Cuckoo jumps forward with a battle charge. Jabs quick with the Stone Gaze. They've taken down the melee racks. Black jumps forward onto the Ogre. Looks for the easy kill. Now turns towards Cuckoo, who does end up getting procced by the Stone Gaze. It's a lot of damage being racked up by Black once again. They'll turn towards their next target. Ryo falling down quick and fast. That's the Venge down and down. There'll be a bite back from Ogre. Black now moves forward, gets the pounce onto Cuckoo. There'll be a defensive Astral, but Tim's forced back to the base. Samh, one more purification onto himself. It's not enough to save his teammates. Odie's down for 110 seconds. He does have buyback available. He's not utilizing it quite yet. What can Raven do with his MKB? He'll jump forward. Has the backup of Samh, but the Lotus Orb again, making sure the Ogre ends up stunning himself. Black, absolutely lovely. GG is called. Black and the boys have done it. Faceless take the series 2-1. And they'll be moving forward. Some excellent performances from the team. Black having 2 fantastic games on the slot. And at the end of the day, TNC just couldn't pull through with what they were able to do in Game 2 once again here in Game 3. What a series and what a performance from Faceless.
Speaking of Black, it's nice to see in this game that I think a while back, Black was struggling a lot with not getting free farm, not having a good early game, like getting contested, getting countered, and would start hemorrhaging kills, starting to lose control of the game. This game, he plays with 1 death after having a completely abysmal laning stage. Awful matchup, completely out-farmed, just slowly finds whatever he can, plays a great game on the Slark, in my opinion, at the end of the day. And Faceless do pull through. Wasn't the easiest game.
Absolutely not.
Wasn't the cleanest game either.
No.
But they got the job done. I think going forward for Faceless, what they need to think about is more of a strategic nature than the teamwork. The second game arguably maybe a bit on the sloppy side when it came to coordination in the lineup, but also just strategically the games from them were a bit awkward in the drafting with getting behind in the early game. In this game, for example, individual performances bring them back, but this game could have been super hard for them. They could have lost this game at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely. We saw kind of that early mid-game where TNC were doing these fantastic maneuvers, catching Faceless off guard. But yeah, I mean, that one point where Black just had that insane fight, racking what 84 essence.
I don't think I've seen more than that ever.
That is just an insane amount to build up. It's just normally you're not allowed to. You know, they get out of there or they just simply die. But at the end of the day, the self-sustain that TNC had at that point just worked against them because it allowed Black to build up that much damage, that much agility, and just some great backline play as well. I really felt that XY on the Abaddon did some excellent stuff. The Solar Crest, the times we talked about how well he could farm in comparison to what TNC had. It was incredibly impactful with those last game-winning sieges. Yeah,
he managed to outscale the supports of TNC eventually. That was a problem that they ran into, simply that they didn't scale well enough. But with the right timing and the right execution, I think TNC could have taken this game for sure. But they got beaten by Faceless once again.
And once again,
unfortunate matchup for TNC.
They fall to their SCA brethren. TNC getting knocked out of the competition. Faceless will move forward. That's it from me and Sin, though. Back to the panel for some post-game.